Bet, man, we are back live recording in the building, in the Zoom, in the meeting room. We are back. Show about nothing ATL, the network. Go ahead, talk to him, Rock.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Y'all know how we feel, man. We got a lot to get to, bro. Conference finals is going on. One of the greatest ever dropped 3 albums. Covington,
Yeah.
Atlanta's All Black just dropped a project we got to review for a little bit. So it's a lot to get to, man. It's graduation season. If you're wondering why we're on Zoom in the middle of May, we never are. It's graduation season, and I'm a
Yeah.
DJ now. So things are changing. So
Yeah, that's a fact.
So next week we'll be back in the studio, but we never want to miss a week of content, especially not a week like this. So I was about to say
Yeah.
not like us. We passed that. We passed that. We passed that.
Yeah.
But as usual, the Zoom episodes are a little bit shorter. So if you are looking for a longer form review of Iceman, please go watch episode 163 featuring Buddha. It was an incredible episode. I know myself because I'm listening to it right now, and I'm like, damn, we boy nice. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah, yeah. We was cooking for sure. Yeah, it's some
we was
shit in there.
we was cooking. We was cooking. So please go look that subscribe to that and subscribe to patreon.com/backslash nothing ATO. Once again, that's patreon.com/backslash nothing ATO. You will see that below and above throughout this episode. So please go subscribe. And let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We're supposed to start with Is the Spurs, but since the Knicks segment will be a little bit quicker, we'll start there. And I have one
Yeah.
question for you. I'll answer it after you do. Are the Knicks winning the finals?
2076ers. Hell of a year though, Jalen Brunson. Hell of a season. Hell of a season, twin. Y'all get a game off OKC, man. Salute, twin. I ain't gonna lie. Like, y'all boys gonna get y'all one, man. But them winning the finals, that's not on the table. That's not on the table. I
Okay.
ain't gonna lie.
So, do you give no credence to the fact that they have a winning record against the Spurs? And for those of you that don't know, if you guys are new to this show, it's just the Spurs fans and not a.
Yeah,
I like Wembenyama, like he's a real Spurs fan.
yeah,
Like '04 had the Tim Duncan jersey on type shit. So,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
for sure.
so he's picking the Spurs to go to the finals. As am I. I have changed my pick from OKC to the Spurs. And I'm gonna just keep changing my pick back until somebody wins, so I can say I'm right because I don't know anything. But that's why he said they have no chance because he expects them to
Yeah,
play the Spurs. So my question to that is, do you give no credence to the winning regular season record against the Spurs, them winning the in cup tournament or in season tournament against the Spurs? You give no
yeah.
credence to that. You think this is a different ball game?
No, no, I definitely feel like if I feel like they would have a great puncher's chance with Cat,
Okay.
but I feel like it's such a bad matchup for not just Jalen Brunson, but the others. Because Josh Hart, you can't put your imprint on the game when it's a 7'4" guy getting the rebounds. Like you're not getting those offensive rebounds. Like Jalen Brunson at his size, I'm not sure which Spurs guard he checks. He's too small for Vassell. He's too small for Harper. He's too small for Fox. Him being such a liability physically, you really don't see that as much in the West as you would in the East with the Trey Youngs and the Jalen Brunsons and the Therese Maxies. In the West, like, yeah, you're getting hunted
Hmm.
immediately. Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like it's a bad physical matchup for them. And I kind of feel like NBA wants Wemby's first finals to be in the Garden. I just,
I I
I
agree
don't
with
think he,
that.
yeah, he can't lose that. Yeah.
And I want to give some praise to the Knicks before we just say they can't do anything. They look
Facts.
amazing. They look so
Yeah.
good. I think they're winning the
Mhm.
series in 5 games. I don't. After game one, where. Let me backtrack to game one. You,
Mhm.
me and Ish have the same philosophy. It's some moments in playoff series or playoff games where you're just like, you just not winning the series. And that comeback in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter, led by Jalen Brunson, 17 in the fourth, 80% field goal percentage. That comeback, one of the greatest things I've ever seen. That you
Yeah.
can't come back from that. You don't win series after losing games like
Yeah.
that.
No.
It's like when the last year when the Knicks lost that game to the Pacers, when Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton, they what was it, like 11 points in a minute and 30 seconds or something like
Yeah.
that?
In a minute and a half, legit.
Yeah, you don't come back from that. When that happened with the Pacers, I was like, the Knicks are losing the series, bro. So
Yeah.
I feel really, really good about the Knicks. I'm happy for their fans. It as the NFL is better when the Cowboys are better, the NBA is better when the Knicks are better. So I'm very happy for the city of New York. The energy in the garden in these playoff games is infectious and contagious. I love every moment of it. But the regular season matchups with San Antonio mean nothing to me because
Yeah.
San Antonio plays the Knicks twice. They add a third game. Obviously, they're 2-1 against them. They add a third game because of the in-season tournament. So
Mm,
why it doesn't matter is the way you scout the Knicks when you're playing them one time in a 2 times in a 9-month span versus when you're about to play them 6 or 7 times over 2 weeks is totally different.
mm,
Also,
completely.
the Spurs
Yeah.
team they played in the in-season tournament championship and the Spurs team now, totally different. Lastly, the
Yeah.
Wembenyama they played this regular season and the Wembenyama of this playoffs is totally different.
Yeah.
So as is said,
Yeah.
I give them a 30% chance. I would go 70-30. I wouldn't be shocked, appalled. Oh my God, what happened? Like if the Heat would have beat the Lakers in the bubble, that would have blew my mind, pause. But
Yeah.
this wouldn't be like what happened, but I would be like, wow, what a feat, what a overcome a
Yeah.
underdog, what an underdog story. So I am high on the
Yeah.
Knicks. I personally, ish close your ears, would like to see the Knicks win the championship this year over the Spurs, just because I know Wembanyama is gonna win 6, so he can lose the first one.
Yeah.
Like before he, before
Yeah.
he dominates for 10 years, he can lose
Yeah.
a championship and have to overcome some adversity next year. But I am
Yeah.
very high on the Knicks, and I want to give all the praise in the world to Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Mike Brown, a black head coach, Mike Brown, a black head coach that has been doing this for a very long time with early LeBron, with Golden State, with Sacramento, and now he's doing it with New York, bro. He's a excellent defensive mind, just an excellent coach, a player's coach. All the players love him. You never hear anything bad about him. And the way he's been able to navigate when they need to let Cat play the point forward position, and then when they need to let Jalen Brunson run it and take over like he does in the regular season, it has been a
Right.
beautiful, beautiful display of basketball.
Yeah. That's a fact. Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and Knicks, I'm rooting for you. Like I said, Knicks, I'm rooting for you. Keith, shout out to you. Nelson, shout out to you. I'm rooting for y'all. But let's jump into issue Spurs in the OKC series, what we call the varsity
Yeah.
series of this playoffs. We
Yeah.
haven't spoke about the series at all since games have been played. So let me just get your reaction to the game one, game two, 1-1 going back to San Antonio tonight. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Game one felt like a coming of age. Like I spent, I work in sports, so we talk about sports a lot.
Mhm.
I think every conversation that I had the next day, people started with like, "Did you see Victor Wembanyama yesterday?" Like it was like a cultural thing. Like you would
Yeah.
have thought it was like a Kardashian show. How
Yes.
many people were like, "Yo, did you see that? Like, did you
Yes.
see that 30-footer?" Like it was just incredible. Now to catch up, since we are on the heels of game two and game three will be coming out. Game three will be tonight after you guys see this. But game two for me was, first of all, they're the champions.
Hmm.
That's still Shea Alexander.
Yeah.
Alex Caruso still an all-time role player.
Yes.
And we saw this a little bit in the Timberwolves series. Well, not even a little. We saw this a lot in the Timberwolves series before he elbowed Naz Reid. But when you're playing Victor 4 times in 2 weeks, one of them games we kind of get to a point where we don't want to play him. Like that's really what we're in right now. We're in the Jordan rules kind of era of Victor where it was like kind of like, yo, Steph can't play offense. We cannot let Victor play defense the whole game. Like we're gonna put someone on the court just to grab him the entire play.
Hmm.
And we're gonna go fast, get shots up, and they literally just can't call every foul. I was still reassured a little bit because, especially with a young team, one of the biggest fears you have is when things start going sideways and things start going bad, and they kind of have that opportunity to just kind of like check out and quit already. That every time it got a little ahead or OKC thought they would pull away, the Spurs would go on a run.
Yeah.
Purcell would go on a run.
Yeah.
Harper before he got hurt, like they would keep trying. Like this wasn't a game two where it was like, all right, we stole game one. Let's just get out of game two because that's the champions. Like if you go into there trying to do that, they're gonna 40 ball you.
Yep.
So They were on the ropes, and it was a competitive game throughout. And I guarantee Wemby shoots more than 4 free throws next game. I promise you that.
All right, so I'm gonna start with game one, 41 and 24 in 3 blocks.
Yeah,
Incredible. One of the greatest playoff games I've ever seen, and
yeah,
the greatest playoff game I've ever seen from a 22-year-old in my lifetime. Kobe's 40 back-to-back 40 balls against the closeout game against the Kings, and then the opening game against the Spurs. All right, might have had those flip, but that is what happened. 45 and 10 and like 44 and 9. Ridiculous. He was 22 when he did that. So those 3 games right there are just some of the craziest feats a young player will ever make in the playoffs, let alone a
right.
conference final series. Like what in the world? So
Your first conference finals game too.
yeah, just I'm just so impressed every time I see him, and I explained this a couple weeks ago to Ish that like I'm a guard guy. I'm not small like Kevin Hart, but I am shorter. Like I am
Right.
shorter, so I've always been a point guard play has always been more appealing to me. If I listed my 10 favorite players of all time, it would be 9 guards and Draymond Green and Kevin Garnett. So
Yeah.
so I really like guard play, but Wembanyama is becoming one of my favorite players in the NBA because of the dog mentality he has. And not only the mentality, he forces it down your throat. He wants you
Yeah.
to know, I want to be the best. I want every award. I want every championship. I want everything that comes with being great. I don't want to
Yeah.
leave any stone unturned. And he is unapologetic about it. And I love it. I love it so much. So
Yeah.
he's making a real fan out of me. You're the Spurs guy, so I'm going to speak from the OKC's point of view.
Right.
If I'm OKC, I feel very great about where I am right now because actually I'm capped. I feel okay. I feel good. I don't feel great because we're tied and not up 2-1, 2-0. So I can't feel great. I feel good though. And I feel
Yeah.
good because De'Aaron Fox is hurt. Dylan Harper is
Mhm.
also hurt. And Stephon Castle is averaging 9 turnovers a game. I say that quietly because COV till I die.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Stephon Castle, I said Stephon Castle is a good point guard. He is going to be a great point guard. The trio of Harper, Castle, and Wimbiana will win multiple championships.
Right.
He's not ready to run a playoff offense for 40 minutes a game. And you're
Exactly.
not supposed to do that at 21. That's okay.
Exactly.
Like you're not
And that
supposed to do.
hasn't been his role this year either.
Yeah, yes. So like they're trying to use De'Aaron Fox to kind of veteran what do they call that? Mentor him
Mentor, yeah.
into the point guard role. Great
Mhm.
idea, perfect idea, great veteran to have in your building. But he
Yeah.
needs somebody to get the ball out of his hands. And with those
Right.
Fox and Harper being injured and the abundance of guard role players OKC has, I like my chances of being able to continue to force turnovers and win that battle and being able to generate a lot of points when Wemby's off the court, paint wise. And those two, that formula, attack, attack, attack when Wemby's off the court, and ball pressure, ball pressure, ball pressure due to the lack of guard with San Antonio. I like that
Right.
formula for OKC. Now, my question to you is, how are you feeling with the Fox injury and with the Harper injury? Are you worried, or do you think both of them will be able to finish the series?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Dylan Harper going down. That's how I know I'm like real locked into that fan shit. Like Dylan Harper went down, and I just like laughed a little bit. I was like, all right, whatever, bro. Like we finna lose the game. Like, all right, like okay, I
Yeah,
see what's going on. I see
yeah,
what's going on right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But no hamstring for Dylan Harper. No lower leg injury for Dylan Harper. It ended up being a left abductor, so he's already questionable to play next game. And De'Aaron Fox's game time decision too. I
Okay.
think if they play, my confidence is super high. If even one of them plays, if Fox comes back or Harper comes back to play similar to what he was doing before, my confidence remains high because Castle, like you said, first he's second year player, second year guard, and versus this is his first conference finals versus one of the best defenses in the league. So him having all the turnovers, first, a few of them are pretty nasty. A few of them are second year rookie turnovers,
Mm-hmm.
but it are some that I live with because he is our only ball handler right now. So having Fox or Harper return opens up so much for that. That with if they were out, I would probably be out in the series. Like, yo, listen, we got your conference finals. We're a year ahead of schedule. Cool. But if they're gonna play, I am still pretty confident going back to San Antonio. Just kind of because, like you mentioned, Victor's mentality in the third quarter of last game, I thought, listen, we played good the first half. We didn't want to get flooded. Dylan Harper's not moving great. We probably get blitzed in the third quarter. Get ready for that. Victor came out scoring like 10 straight in the third, like trying to win that fucking game. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you see the clip, but the clip of him walking to the tunnel, he was not happy with 1-1 heading back to San Antonio. Like he wanted to win both games here. So
Mm-hmm.
I think moving forward in the series, I like our chances a lot,
Okay.
but I wanted to ask you because I told Reggie this before he got hurt. I hope he's okay. That I worry about OKC without J Will way more than I do with J Will. How do you feel about that with his hamstring being out? And for the second straight game, because the first game when they benched Chet, I think Chet and Jay Will for like 3 or 4 minutes, they won a crazy run, got stranglehold in the game, and then once Jay Will went out, it was game two. Same thing, they were able to win the game, and Casey Wallace and the rest of them shined without him. So, do you think OKC is better without Jalen Williams, or do you think OKC is just so fucking deep they can just beat you without him?
So you know my philosophy about saying teams are better without great players. It
Right.
just logically doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But this is a case of there's no drop off with the
Right.
great player or without the great player. And that is
Mhm.
because they played 75 games without Jalen Williams. Exaggerative, obviously, but they played
Right.
a large chunk of this
Yeah.
season without him in the lineups. And they have played a large part of this playoffs without him
Yeah.
in the lineups.
Hmm.
So, do I think they're better? No. But
Right.
do I think there's a drop off? Absolutely not. Do I think they're well equipped to still win the series and the finals without him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, the injury to Harper and Fox is more dangerous to me than the injury to Jalen Williams because of the lack of adjustment OKC has to make because of the injury history with Jalen Williams this year.
Exactly.
I also want to ask you to put it back on you. Who would you rather come back if you could only have one, Fox or Harper for the series 100%? Who would you rather have?
Damn, that's a good question. Shit. I'm gonna say niggas gonna kill me for it because listen, they don't have Spurs League Pass. I'm gonna say De'Aaron Fox. While I think Dylan Harper, first of all, after rim finishing is probably one of the best after rim finishers I've ever seen already.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his size plays a huge part because he can stay with Shea a little bit. He can stay with their guards. But D Fox's first playoff experience and his tight handle to get in and out of the OKC pressure changes so much of the math for everyone else on the court because
Right.
being able to handle in those tight spaces is kind of what breaks the OKC defense. And that's what you saw with when Kyrie was next to Luka. Once you get them in rotations, if you can beat that backside guy with your speed or with your handle like De'Aaron Fox, it really, really collapses them. But when you only have Castle and somewhat Harper that are bigger, stronger guards, you're more so playing through their physicality. So with De'Aaron Fox, his playoff experience, he's going to get us in the right positions, get us settled down for everything we need. And his tight handle, he's done amazing versus OKC in his career. Just because the tricks and stuff they do, it's hard to do them on him because people forget De'Aaron Fox is the fastest player in the NBA probably when he's running full
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So what do
I
you think between the two?
I think Harper, bro, because
Mm,
Harper puts pressure on the rim that
yeah.
is more dangerous than the pressure Fox puts on the rim. Fox is
Yeah.
shooting below 42% at the rim this year in the playoffs.
Mhm.
He has not been finishing well. He also hasn't been shooting great. Not poor, but he hasn't been shooting great. And I
Right.
worry about their offense more than their defense. They got the Godzilla back there, dog. They ain't worried about
Yeah.
no defense. Like
Yeah, right.
they gonna be okay with me, you, Tyrone, and Stun out there with Wemby
Oh
back
yeah,
there.
we for sure get
Like,
stopped. Yeah, we for
you
sure
know
get
what
stopped.
you feel me? So so I'm not worried about their defense. I am worried
Mhm.
about their offense and them being able to consistently score because I do think OKC, if they play, let's say this goes 7, so they play 5 more games. I think OKC will win in the turnover battle in 4 of those games. So
Yeah,
you're going to have to score points to overcome those turnovers that your just
right.
immaturity is going are going to make. I'm not saying like this isn't, you know how I always say, like, the sum of the Warriors' turnovers, they're gonna lead the league in turnovers every year because they pass the ball more than everybody. Like, they're the
Exactly.
youngest teams left in the playoffs. They're gonna turn the ball over. It's okay.
Literally.
It's okay. So to combat that,
Mhm.
I think they need the pressure on the rim that generates easy buckets that
Right.
Dylan Harper is able to generate. I love the way the creativity in his finishing, the
Oh
creativity in
yeah.
his footwork when he gets in 2 feet
Yeah.
in that paint is incredible. So I just think they need that constant force to get downhill like a rim runner in 2K.
Yeah.
That's how Dylan Harper comes off to me. So I
Yeah.
think that is the most important guy to get back in your lineup.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is, in your heart of hearts, not your Spurs fan, in your NBA analyst bag, do you think
Right.
this series comes back to OKC 3-1 or 2-2? And let me say, De'Aaron Fox comes back tonight. We're recording this on Friday morning, so De'Aaron Fox comes back tonight, and Dylan
Mhm.
Harper is back Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's 3-1 heading back. I think it's 3-1 heading back. I think OKC's flirting with very dangerous territory. And I feel like
Interesting.
Shea kind of alluded to that in the post game. And I will say credit to Shea. I want to stop here. First of all, if it wasn't for Wemby and Shea played a little differently, he'd be an amazing face of the league. Because Shea
Yeah,
is
yeah.
ridiculously aware of how he is perceived and kind of how OKC is perceived
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because he knows they are looking at that shit Hartenstein was doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna get too deep into it, like the grabbing Stephon Castle hair and all that other nut shit he was doing, but the way they won game 2 just is not sustainable in a basketball
Absolutely not.
context.
Absolutely not.
And it's not like usually when we say that, we mean like a team came out and hit a bunch of threes or some shit like that. That can be repeated. The NBA is not gonna let you grab on me for the rest of the playoffs. They're just not.
No.
They're just not, especially coming off of the most watched basketball game in 20 million years because of him. Like I promise, they are not gonna let you do that to him
No,
the
they're not.
entire game. And the optics of it, where they're on the broadcast, like trying to highlight Hartenstein's defense, and then they roll the clip, and it's all just him grabbing Wemby.
Yeah,
And then while they're doing that, we have to challenge an obvious block while you're fouling Wemby. Like
yeah.
it is, first, it's just not sustainable. That's why I said we're in the Jordan Rules era of it because uh, eventually they're gonna make that a foul every time, and niggas are gonna complain. Niggas are gonna be mad about that. But you literally just cannot grab someone on. First of all, it's hella dangerous to just be grabbing niggas while they're trying to play defense in general. But the other reason I say they are flirting with dangerous territory is as much as well, first of all, both of us love Alex Caruso. As much as we love
Love,
Alex Caruso,
love.
I don't think them threes hitting on the road. He's due for one. He's due for at least
Come on,
one.
bro. We
That
watch
is
basketball
yo.
for real. That's a
That's what
role
I'm
player,
saying.
bro.
Like,
That's not how
yeah,
that works, bro. That's not how that
he,
works, guys.
bro. Alex Caruso's not gonna go 4 straight games of hitting wide open threes,
Yeah.
and we are an Alex Caruso cold quarter away from blowing the doors off that team
Yeah.
because those points are needed. He
Needed.
has to hit them
Hmm.
shits. So
Yes.
I feel like they are flirting with dangerous territory. If we get those guards back, I think it's 3-1 going back to OKC. I think they win that first game and then we close it out.
All right. So in closing for me, I have a couple last points. I'm going to make a definitive pick. I do think San Antonio is going to win this series. I think
Okay.
Victor Wembanyama is like that. I think we see a once in a lifetime player every 20 or 30 years. It was Kareem, it was Michael Jordan, it was Shaquille O'Neal, which kind of came close together. It was LeBron, and now it was Wemby. And
Yeah.
I'm the biggest Kobe Bryant fan in the world. Kobe Bryant was a Kobe carbon copy of Michael Jordan, so I can't call him a once in a generation player when there was a guy a generation before him similar. So that's
Right.
my guy. But it's four of them. Those are the four truly generational talents of this
Yeah.
NBA season. There's been some crazy guys like the Zions and the Flags and the Kobe's and the
Yeah.
AIs that have been amazing and amazing prospects, but generational, something
Yeah.
we'll never see again. That is Victor Wembanyama, and I think those
Yeah.
guys just win early. Like Kobe, I know what I just said about Kobe, but Kobe is one of those super ultra just legendary guys. He won at 22, and I tell everybody, I scream it from the rooftops. We'll do a Patreon on it one day. You're not just plugging 22 T Mac or 22 AI or 22 D Wade with Shaq and winning three
Yeah.
straight championships. He was an anomaly.
Right.
Uh, LeBron James. Y'all
Yep.
saw LeBron when he was young. Like if
Yep.
LeBron had Shaquille O'Neal or LeBron, and don't LeBron 22-year-old LeBron was repeated with Shaquille O'Neal because he's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Or if you give LeBron a similar setup to what Wemby has now, he's gonna win young.
Yeah.
That is why I'm picking the Spurs. I think SGA is a great player. I
Yeah.
believe he is an all-time player. Next Patreon, not next Patreon, but next episode, we're gonna discuss where he is in the literal like the hall of the
Best ever.
all-time players, the best ever players. I'm sorry, I can brain
Yeah.
fart, but yeah, so top 20, top 25 player ever is where he is. I love him, but there are just guys that are different. SGA is trying to be top 15 on time. Wemby is trying to be the best basketball player ever. That is
Ever.
the trajectory he was on, and I think that this playoff run is the start of that conversation. I think we're going to go from comparing Wemby to Jokic and Ant and SGA for the next 2-3 years. By 2029, you will
Yeah.
only hear him with LeBron James and Michael Jordan. That is how
Yeah.
good he is. So
Yes.
I am picking the Spurs in the series. That was a long-winded way of saying that.
Nah.
But my I gave you a lot of good about OKC. I want to close with where I am worried about them and why I'm picking San Antonio.
Right.
They are having a really hard time scoring the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And they are doing a really great job of guarding SGA. And that also leads back to the point I made 2 speeches ago about Harper. Harper is another body you can throw in SGA. He'll see
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox and laugh. Harper gives him some trouble. Them young legs give him
That's the
trouble.
bad.
So
Yeah.
all
He's
of the
bigger
body,
too.
yes, all of the bodies they're able to throw at SGA and the way they're able to play boxes and elbows is really great defense. Shout out to JJ Redick who gave everybody the formula because
Yeah.
OKC has shooting, but they don't have pure shooting. They have
Right.
2 pure shooters on their team, Isaiah Joe and Casey Wallace. And Isaiah Joe isn't the defender that Dagnall likes, so he doesn't play that much. And Casey Wallace is like I said, a pure shooter, but he's not somebody you're worried about winning you a playoff game.
Right.
Maybe one, but like Alex Caruso, just same thing as that. So
Right.
the trouble they are having scoring the ball worries me. And they have a great defense. But like Ish just said, what Isaiah Hartenstein was doing was the right thing. I want to start there. If the refs are letting you get away with it,
Oh
continue
God.
to do it. Do not stop. But they're going to send in all that footage. Okay, San Antonio is. They're going to send all that footage. And in San Antonio, the first time he go up for a
Yeah.
rebound and hold his arm back like that, they're calling a foul, and it's going to stop the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And I believe Wemby is going to be able to have his way the rest of this series. I'm not going to say he's going to average 40 the rest of the series, but the impact he has just on diving to the roll, on putbacks, some of them missed layup, putback dunks. It's like, what is that, Ish? What is that, bro? Dog, he went to the hole, he double pumped the layup, missed it. And as Isaiah Hartenstein was hitting the ground, Wemby was back in the air catching a putback dunk off his own missed layup. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So
It's
I just
literally
think
insane.
I think you're going to see more of that. I think Wemby is going to
Yeah.
dominate these next 2 games. I agree with Ish. They're going to come back up 3-1, close the series out in 6. I'm rolling with San Antonio. Hard fought effort by OKC, but you will be remembered as the 04 Detroit Pistons, as the 2011 Mavs with an incredible run, an incredible history, and just got smack dab in the middle of a GOAT.
Yeah. And listen, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I love SGA, and before the playoffs, you heard me say this a couple times. Like, we need to enjoy this time where you thought your regular best player in the world could compete with me.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where we are with
Yeah.
Shea. We're like Ant, and that's why it's going to be a crazy offseason because I still feel like the Timberwolves are going to put up a better fight than OKC ended up doing because Ant has improved his range from three so much. He is a three-level scorer. While Shea hits threes, he can't just manufacture offense from the three-point line like
Exactly.
Ant does. So when you're being guarded with Harper, who's 6'6", 6'7" in shoes, Vassell, who's an athletic freak, amazing defender,
Hmm.
Carter Bryant's playing amazing defense, Stephon Castle, and we're not like I love being like fans of teams that just not finna watch that shit. Did you see the Draymond clip talking about James Harden?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from that cloth, my nigga. SGA, you're not playing one on one. I don't care who out there. You are not playing one on one. You catch
Nope.
that ball, we are sliding over, cuz
Hmm.
you better get into your move immediately. And Shea is seeing like, I mean, this is how I'll close it. Shay is seeing the attention of niggas y'all be comparing Shay to. This is what it's like when you're Kobe. This is what it's like when you're Steph Curry. This is what it's like when you're James Harden, Magic Johnson. You get to these high level teams. Yeah, that's the best defense in the NBA, and they're not gonna play you straight up. What you gonna do about it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Kevin Garnett, Tony Allen on the PNR. We're still gonna slide over though. That's still Kendrick Perkins coming on the backside. We're not just gonna be better than you. We're gonna be better than you. We're gonna scheme about you. We're gonna make everything you want to do. We would rather trap you at half court and let Isaiah Joe shoot this corner three than let you even think about getting to the midi.
Yeah.
And it's respect to SGA, but it's also context for people who are kind of just like their first experience with best player in the world treatment. Like, like you think they didn't do this to LeBron, SGA fans? Like the Spurs had four niggas in the paint versus LeBron. SGA,
Yeah.
you are gonna get these looks, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is what the Kobe's and the Mikes, the reason they are the best players in the world, and the reason they have 5 championships is because their game was able to play through that.
Yep.
And that is going to be the challenge for SGA. Because if SGA comes out for the next 4 games and is consistent from three and is going to shoot a bunch of threes and make threes and kind of keep their offense afloat on the road without Alex Caruso, he'll be in them conversations too. But you don't get in them conversations from regular season awards.
No, you do not. No, you do not. And I know I said I was in closing, but I want to add something that you mentioned with Shea.
Yeah,
Um, San Antonio's defense is too good. And
yeah.
any defense you play in the conference finals is going to be too good for you to sit at the top of the key with 5 eyes on you, with 10 eyes on you, and try to
Mhm.
create. So the best buckets SGA are getting are off Iverson cuts, are off pin downs, are off screens, and off catches and shoots, are catch it, pump fake, and get to your spot. So I hope that OKC and their Mark Dagnall is able to realize that we got to get SGA on the move. We need to let Alex Caruso be our primary ball handler at time. We need to play SGA and Adonai Mitchell a little bit more together and let Mitchell be our primary ball handler and get SGA off ball. A couple of years ago during the Kyrie Irving sweepstakes, no, it was Darius Garland. The Darius Garland sweepstakes, and not the ones this year. They were talking about moving them like 2 years ago. And I said Darius Garland should go to OKC. And everybody was like, SGA is a point guard. And I was like, yeah, but guess what? SGA gets better if he doesn't have to be the point guard because that's not his natural position. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And now that is reigning true.
Yeah,
If they had
literally.
a real league guard next to SGA, his job would be a lot easier. And for those of you that Shannon Sharp, come on, bro. What in the world just happened, bro? What just happened? What just happened? I don't know what just happened.
Shannon
Oh,
Sharp curse.
no, that was my mom. I don't know what just happened. Okay, we're still recording. Everything is still good. All right, I'll just check that.
Yeah.
So, sorry, y'all. Please, bro. What are if I ignore your call? Why would you call me back, bro? I immediately press decline. Hold on, let me text her. Bro, my contacts do not be coming up in here. And I do not know. Um, okay. Oh, my bad. So I hope OKC is able to see that they need a point guard. They need to get SGA easy buckets. And this was my point when Shannon Sharp was talking about Kobe Bryant never led the Lakers offense and wasn't the what he said. Derek Fisher was driving the Lakers offense. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, no,
But
Shannon Sharp one of yeah, he's crazy.
this
He's
is
one of the best.
he's crazy, bro. But
Yeah,
this is why Kobe was running the offense. It was just through the triangle. And the reason Kobe played the triangle was it was so much movement and so much action and so many off ball picks. You weren't able to just look at Kobe Bryant and say, yo, everybody look at him, boxes and elbows, because Kobe Bryant was catching the ball in the low post, in the mid post, was catching it on the wing, was catching it in the middle of the court, at the top of the like free throw line extended. So those things make you a better player and people look at them as, oh, it just made the game easier. No, it made me a winner. You dumbass niggas, bro. Fuck.
yeah.
So that's the end of my rant, bro. That's the end of my rant. Any closing words on San Antonio before we get into the boy?
No. That's all I had. I'm ready. Listen, ready for game three. If listen, we will know tonight. If Wemby nukes them tonight, it's over. It's over.
Yo, what in the world?
She calls you again.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So just wrapping up game three. Listen, game three is tonight, so we don't know what's gonna happen going into game three. But I will let you know now. If Wemby nukes them this game, it's over. If Wemby comes out, started game three, like, yo, I'm pissed we lost last game. De'Aaron Fox is back. I got my guards. I'm not gonna play that shit. Like, it's probably gonna be over because I don't see another answer for OKC yet.
Me either. Me either. Me either.
Yeah.
Great game too by SGA though. I do want to close with that. He
All
looked
time game.
incredible. The way he was able to
Yeah.
control the game, continue to keep his team in games with timely buckets, shoot efficiently, like
Yeah.
all time game, all time game.
And that's the
Um,
thing, and that's why I mentioned this with Ant last series, but watching Shea get 30 versus that defense and watching a normal 30 Shea game are night and day. It's so
yeah,
much more appreciation
yes, yes,
seeing him push himself skill wise to play a certain way. And he did, flop on 25% of his jumpers, but who cares? Because I've come to live with it. He's still, all-time great. But even through the flopping and an all-time great performance. Like that 30 felt like 50 on a normal team. On a
yeah,
normal team, you go for 50 that night, probably.
for sure, for sure. All right, man. Let's transition into this music. It's early and Black dropped 12 hours ago, so I will give a quick review. I've listened to it 2.5 times. Black man, keep doing what you are doing, bro. Like I love artists that have a sound, that have a goal, and that create with
Yeah,
intention. And you're able to see that without him doing an interview, without him releasing some long script about what he is doing. You can just hear the music and understand what he was trying to get done. He executed it perfectly. The lyrics on this album are great. The production is incredible and the production is cohesive. We always talk about words and lyrics being cohesive throughout the album, but the
right.
production creates a overall sound for this album. I say it is the most perfect morning album. Even Sunday morning, no pun intended, even better. Like they have a song called Sunday Morning on the album if you didn't know, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the the overall theme and tone of this album is contagious and I love it so much. This will go I love what was the last album he dropped? Uh
um, I
Hold
was
on.
getting mixed up with
Since I have a lover. Since I
yeah,
have a
I have
lover.
it. Yeah.
I really like Since I Have a Lover, but this has already jumped to my second favorite Black album. Nothing will ever top East Atlanta Love Letter. That is near and dear to my heart. But
Yeah.
this album is my second favorite Black album. It is incredible. And Black, if you're available, if you're in the city, we are in the city. Please come by to do an interview with us. We really, really appreciate that. This album is incredible. Please go spin it. Black. I don't even know the name of the project. I'm over here talking about. I don't even know the name. I don't know the name of the songs or nothing on the album. If I'm being honest.
It's so tough when you first listen to it. Like I'd be so excited to listen to the Black album. I just listen to it because Black album. Like I don't check the titles. I don't check
Check
shit.
nothing. I was
Yo,
like, oh, what a cute picture of his daughter, and played the album.
yo, like,
But Love
yeah,
is the New Gangster, absolutely great album. Top three songs, all that matter with the ZJ, as the Chike or As Cheeks, Leon Thomas. I shouldn't have said that. all that matters. All that matters. Wifey, baby mama, and Sunday again with 2 Chainz are my top 3 songs right now. But incredible album, Black. Congratulations, as always. Legendary artist in my eyes.
That's a fact. Shout out Black, Stephon Castle. It's been a big week for us from Newton. I mean, we
And we
are
got the
up.
back to
Like,
school with Eric Stokes next week. My boy Eric
yeah,
Stokes signed for 80 M's. I saw him in
yeah,
Little Phillies. He's still pimping like he a COV nigga, dog. I said, nigga, if
yeah.
you don't
In
take your
Lil
ass to
Phillies,
Carbone,
in Lil Phillies, nigga.
Phillies,
Like,
gang.
yo,
Little
shout out
Phillies
Lil
with him
Phillies.
80
Man.
M's in the account, gang. That's
Yeah,
my
man.
nigga, boy.
Yeah. Listen, that shit is so fun. I want to shout out Black for sure. I mean, hometown hero, friend of the show, great guy, amazing artist, all that. I had heard the Chain song already. I listened to, I think, the first couple songs this morning just because I actually did not listen to much music this morning getting ready for the show. But I did want to shout out my niece, just graduated yesterday. Shout out to her. Super proud of her graduating. She's, taking that next step, becoming a nurse and doing all that adult stuff. I'm super old. Really broke me up a little bit yesterday. But as far as this album,
And wait,
Black,
before you get into
yeah,
the album, I do want to say Ish's niece is more important than all of you, but
yeah,
congratulations to the rest of the graduates as well.
that's
Graduating college and graduating high school. Congratulations to
yeah,
all of y'all. And they also do kindergarten graduations now, and they be giving them the robes and everything. So shout out to all the kindergartners going to
yeah,
first grade.
yeah. Yeah, my mom tried to sneak in that my niece was going to fifth to sixth grade. Nah. Yeah, nah, we catch you later, twin. We catch you later, twin. No. But definitely shout out all the grads. Memorial Day weekend's coming up. But
Black.
Black has a level of consistency in his music, kind of, that is reassuring because you know kind of what you're looking for. Like him and
Yeah.
Leon Thomas is a perfect combination. Him and
Yeah.
2 Chainz, an amazing combination. So he hasn't missed up until this point. Love to get him show. I'm gonna try to get him on the show, but listen, y'all stay tuned for that for sure.
And the last thing I want to say is my favorite thing about Black is I
Mhm.
learn something new about him every album.
Yeah,
Every album he gives you what he's been going through, and that seems simple, but a lot of artists don't do that in the vulnerable way that he is able to do it, whether it's him growing in fatherhood or him growing in his anxiety or growing in stardom. Whatever it is, I know what Black is going through and what he has been going through and why it took so long between albums or why it didn't take so long between albums and things of that nature. So just an incredible all-around artist, but for real.
yeah, no, for real, that ass.
All right, Iceman, Habibi, and Maid of Honor. We got some more work to do, so we'll close with this. And I was going around asking people questions to see like where we should take this conversation because there's just so many ways to take it. But before I
Mhm.
ask a question, a week later, how are you feeling about the 3 albums? Have you gotten to Habibi and Maid of Honor? Are you still stuck on Iceman? And then what are your thoughts on them?
So the R, I feel bad. I don't know the difference between them. The R&B one, that's Maid of Honor, right?
Habibi, yeah, Habibi is R&B.
Yeah, Habibi, yeah. So R&B one, I did listen to at least twice. I wasn't actively listening because it wasn't like young lady around. That's why I was playing that one instead of Iceman, shout out Iceman. But definitely was very smooth. I didn't feel like it was kind of like some half-ass R&B. Like I liked what I heard passively. I am for sure still on Iceman right now, and listen. I really haven't moved. The only take I will walk back is I'm not sure if it's. I'm listening. I'm not sure if it's better than GNX, but it's damn near close. If it's not, like I'm still right there. These are head to toe. I thought maybe later, once I listened to it, the rapping and flows probably wouldn't be as fresh, so maybe I wasn't gonna like it as much. The complete opposite. There are songs now that I like more than I did before. There are parts of songs that I love way more than initially. Like that second verse on Plot Twist might be my favorite verse on the album right now. Like it's so many like crazy parts where he just gets going. So
Yeah, bro.
definitely love Iceman. Maid of Honor, growing on me, Habibi. The house one, I'm gonna hear it MJQ. That's kind of how just like like that's the thing. I'm not gonna rate it just like with us. Like once
Yeah.
I hear that shit out, I'm gonna know like if Nick
Okay.
like is it what I'm looking for? Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start with the other two. Maid of Honor, I have told you guys I've been DJing and everything, so house music has become a part of my life, have become a part of my repertoire. I really like that album. I think the album is going to work outside. I started in my one thing about DJing, which is real fun, is that you immediately hear things and it's like, all right, this can go with this. You can match this with this to fade into that. So that's where I've been at with the Drake
Yeah.
house music. It's like, what is this going to sound good next to and things of that nature. But whole phase Q&A, BBW, excuse me, BBW is on no, BBW's on that. Yeah, BBW is fire, bro. Those are still fire songs.
Mhm.
Habibi, I stamp my foot. I scream loud and proud. Drake's R&B since 2019 has just been lackluster because of
Mhm.
exactly what Ish said. One of the adjectives he used was it didn't sound it's been lazy and it sounds
Yeah.
formulaic. And it's like, hey,
Mhm.
this is the Drake sound, this is the Drake R&B, and then let's talk
Yeah.
about the girl you miss the most right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't
Yeah.
want that at all. Uh this sounds so fresh. It sounds new. It is sounds
Yeah.
on here, beats on here, instrumentals on
Mhm.
here that Drake has never used before. It sounds like he challenged himself, is what I will say. It sounds like he really challenged himself to make the best version of his R&B music he can, and he did come close to that. Gen 5 is amazing. Classic, yo,
Right.
Drake, I don't know what I got to do. I don't know who I got to talk to, but I need the full version of Classic. I don't know OVO Chubbs, Ben the Don, Drewski,
Yeah.
whoever got a
Right.
line to Drake. Please tell him to airdrop me
Yeah.
the full version of Classic. A minute and
Yeah.
a half is not
You gotta call
enough.
Steve-O.
But Steve-O,
You gotta call
whoever,
Steve-O.
I don't care. Somebody get me the full version of
Yeah.
Classic, gang. But incredible song. I'm
Yeah.
spent Classic, Gen 5, and Whitebone. That run right there is ridiculous, man. And WNBA Slap the City is fire. It's no skips on Habibi. I'll be honest. It's no skips. It
Yeah.
is a really good, concise, quick project because it's only 37 minutes. And the intro is like one of them intros that's like not necessary. Just some country cool Drake
Right.
shit. So it's really like 35 minutes. So great, easy, smooth listen. Now, Iceman,
Fire. Fire. Yeah.
if people came up to me and said this was his third best album, I wouldn't be mad. It's not better than Nothing Was the Same. It's not better than Take Care. If people told
Yeah.
me it was better than Views and those are his top three albums was Iceman, Nothing Was the Same, and Take Care, I wouldn't even say nothing. That's how good I think this
Yeah.
album is. Nothing can touch his top three, in my opinion, which is Views is in that three.
Right.
Nothing can touch that top three. So every album he drops from now on starts at 4. But I wouldn't be mad at you, bro. This album is incredible. And especially if you've been looking for a full Drake rap project. Especially if you've been looking for that. It
Exactly.
warms your heart even more to get a project this good. But all of my favorite songs are still in my favorite songs. I just like other songs more. Like I like
Yeah.
Dust more than I did last week. I texted
Mhm.
Nelson Ish in the group chat 14 hours ago that Dust is one of the weakest songs on the album, and then I listened to it and I was like, "What a dumbass!" So,
Yeah.
so Dust is growing on me. Let me pull up the track
Yeah.
list real quick. Dust is growing on me. Janice Shut the Fuck Up grew on me. I didn't like that song from the beginning. I heard that
Yeah.
and I thought it was cool, but as I've heard it, as I see the women seeing it on TikTok, it's like,
Yeah.
why don't you
You want me to tell you
please?
the trick?
Like,
Look, you want me to tell you the trick, Rock? Because I had one of my homies. He one of these like lyrical miracle rap niggas. Like, yo, I don't like the Iceman. What is he rapping about? Like, like complaining about the rap. I said, listen, next time you listen to Janice sing along, and if you can sing along
go back, go
and
back, go back.
not
You cut
like
out, you cut
that
out.
song, oh yeah, yeah. I told him next time you listen to Janice STFU, sing along with Drake. And if you can sing along and not like it, I'll say fairs. The minute you singing along with that hook and you start to feel like the perfect
Yes,
tempo rhythm to it, it's
bruh.
so hook. It was so
the
catchy.
the way the hook builds is dog.
Yeah.
Like he's a genius, bro. That hook is amazing, bro.
Yep.
It is amazing, bro. That's why Wayne said we gonna put Drake on every single one of them.
We gonna be good. We gonna be good.
And then plot twist and bees on the table really grew on me. That bees on the table beat is
Yeah,
crazy,
that's a
boy.
fact.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. So I
yeah.
want to end my just like overall review before we get into the nitty gritty with The production on these 3 albums is
Mhm.
incredible, bro.
Yeah.
It is so good. Every
Mhm.
mark was hit. Were there too many beat switches? Maybe. But they all
Right.
work. They're all
No.
good. It's not like
Yeah.
out of place. It's just like, hey,
Mhm.
like we like this song so much, you didn't have to do this to it. But like, I understand why you did. The second half of it sounds great. So just the
Yeah.
producers on this album throughout came up to the pat and hit grand
Yeah.
slam after grand slam.
That's a fact. Definitely shout out them. Shout out Gordo. Gordo, kind of like you, was like, hey man, yo, Iceman's definitely for them, but like Habibi made an honor, like that's for us. That's for these club niggas, that's for the DJs, that's for niggas who are
Yeah.
gonna make the and I think my final um if my final word on Iceman would be up against a wall where this could not be mid, it was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. So
Yeah.
my first question to you is where does Drake go from here, bro? He doesn't have anything left to prove. He is solidified. If you have him as the GOAT,
Yeah.
sure. Top 5, sure. Top 10 artist of all time, like I said, across all genres, sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel about him, he has nothing left to prove. He has done it. He has solidified his legacy as his legacy. If he never
Right.
made another song today, we would look at him how we look at him now. Where
Yeah.
does he go from here? What do you think he's taking a long break? Do you think, and he's going on tour? So after the tour, do
Yeah.
you think he's taking a break and you won't hear from Drake for a while because he accomplished? Do you think he wants
Right.
to come back more in this villain road and he's inspired, like J. Cole said he was post beef? What do you think you're getting from him?
I think we have an album under the name Iceman next year by Drake. Not called Iceman like this one, like his artist name will be Iceman. I think that would be my guess on what's next for Drake. I think he is in a contract situation where he can't stop because I don't think he can stop. And I think that's why we're in such a weird place where like I'm kind of just I feel like this is probably might be as good as it's gonna get for a little while because that next album is gonna be on UMG. That next album is gonna be on like this label shit is not over. And with respect to Drake, because his first week numbers will look crazy, but the drop off has been like noticeable to a certain point where basically every day after his first day streams, they made sure he was at least a couple million under GNX. Like day 5, Kendrick was like 2 million higher. Day 3, like every single day, but that. And I feel like that is kind of like a small red alert because Drake, first of all, coming off this beef, Drake did have that boost where everyone wanted to hear Iceman. One of the best rolled out albums, one of his most, probably his biggest moment as a superstar since the beef. So his first week for sure was going to be huge. But despite Iceman being amazing, the reception has not been great outside of Drake fans. Outside of Drake fans, it has been cold. Like I see it on social media all the time. Like maybe, of course, because I do have, like follow a bunch of Kendrick niggas too. But like even in like random passing, like it's a video with like 200K of this nigga reacting to the Janice STF song, like clowning it. So I think he's in a really weird position. If you honestly, Rock, if you really want to, if you if Drake was on this Zoom twin and he was like, "Yo, what should be next?" I tell that nigga call Kevin Hart. No funny shit. I tell that nigga call Kevin Hart. I tell that nigga start acting. I will tell that nigga start acting.
Bro. So that was going to be the last thing I said today. like, 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 listen, y'all. We know who Drake is because of the music. We were going to know who Drake was regardless.
Yeah,
That shit with Kevin Durant is he is so natural as an actor. It is unfair. Like I cannot believe how talented that nigga is on that screen, bro.
yeah,
That and I'm not glazing, I'm not dick riding. I really like acting. I think it is one of I'm an arts guy. I don't know if y'all know if I've really expressed that why I'm always 2 years ago, I was like, yo, I rap now. Now I'm like, yo, I DJ. I've been podcasting for 8 years. I also like to try. I want to learn to make beats. Like I want to learn to play the piano. I'm just like art. I love it. I
yeah.
cry watching TV shows. Like I am enthralled with art. I go see plays and musicals. Like anything. I go to the museum and like sit in front of the painting like 5 minutes and just be like, wow. Like somebody thought of
Yeah.
this. Like I'm one of them people.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this as like just a Drake fan that's like, oh, he's so talented. Like, no, I pay attention to acting. I love great actors. I have a list of my favorite actors, I go see every project they do.
Yeah,
That boy is talented, bruh. He is
he's hilarious.
hilarious. He's
Yeah,
charismatic. Like, you really thought like that was a real conversation, him and Kevin Durant acting. And you
yeah,
know he's great because you could tell Kevin Durant was filming a commercial and it like Drake was having a conversation. Like,
yeah. Like niggas telling me, like, bro, like you wouldn't watch a Drake rom com? Like
bam!
you don't watch a Drake rom com? Like,
A Drake buddy cop movie with Drewski? Come on, bruh. Come on,
I'm
bro.
telling you, bro, yo, Ride Along 4, Drake, Kevin Hart, Ice Cube. Like,
Oh man. But I, in my opinion, I think Drake should actually let me answer from what I think he will do. I believe Drake is going to go on tour and it is business as usual after that. I This is your last, hey, I got something to prove album from Drake. The rest
yeah,
of his albums will go back to his playlist albums, his formulaic albums, but I do think he is in a new space as a man. You hear a lot about, not a lot, but you hear enough about his aging and him getting older and how he's been fighting it, but now he's coming to a realization that he has to go through this.
yeah,
He's also talking to one singular girl in this album. This entire album, he is talking about that Dubai Pilates instructor. Like he
yeah,
loves that lady. I need to go find a picture of him, see what his bag is. But like,
yeah. She probably, you know, she's crazy.
so I think you can see Drake in a relationship, or in it like a Drake relationship ain't gonna be like your relationship in Covington Gang or your relationship in
Yeah,
Bumblefuck, Missouri. But I promise
yeah,
it's gonna be a relationship that is something different than him just trying to find a new girl every other month to please. I am
yeah.
interested to see where he goes as with his subject matter in his music. But I do believe he is going to go back to the formula of catering to his audience. I think this was his attempt and delivery at getting all of my fan bases three separate projects for them. Now we're
Right.
just going to go back to putting it all in one. So I think that makes sense. I think he should just continue to create because he clearly has a passion for creating music. He's 40 years old. I think he'll have another 4 or 5 years in him of creating and
Yeah.
getting more albums. I don't think you see much of a change in the way he moves or the way he's touring or anything like that. What
Okay.
I do think is a more interesting conversation and where I know you wanted to push this is the label situation. And there's more questions to ask.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get into the GOAT conversation with him. We're gonna get him to is this the best rapping album that he's ever created? Who he'll piece it up with besides Future, but we're short on time because I gotta
Yeah.
go in a few minutes. So I want to end it with the label conversation, and when Nelson is on next week, we'll have all of the more fun conversations.
Type shit.
So with the label topic going on around now, I want to explain something to the audience. Drake can't go independent.
Can't be. He can't.
I have been screaming from the rooftops. Ish has been screaming from the rooftops for 2 years.
Yeah.
Drake is trying to go independent and they are holding him hostage. That is
Mm-hmm.
why he is suing. That is why he is throwing temper tantrums. That's why in the Shebang video, Universal's what they blew up. If you saw the logo, it was it was a world, the globe. That's Universal's logo. It was
Yeah.
where the countries were painted just like Universal, everything.
Mm-hmm.
They blew it up. He is trying to send a message to UMG. I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
UMG is like, hey, we can't let that happen.
Right.
Why can't they let that happen, audience? Why can't they let that happen, twins?
Yeah.
Because Drake is the market.
Literally. Literally.
Drake and Taylor Swift make up 95% of Universal's income and revenue. That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I want you to understand how powerful Drake dropping music is. Joe Budden said from the one episode that he dropped about Drake in the review, the first one he dropped the Saturday
Yeah.
after Iceman dropped,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have to work again this year.
That's crazy.
Off of 3 hours of content about Drake, Joe
Yeah.
Budden made enough money to pay his staff and not work
Yeah.
for the rest of the year.
That's crazy.
He drives so much currency for creators, for
Yeah.
collaborators, for
Hmm.
designers, for artists, for
Yeah.
everyone involved. If he is away from the label and he is able to dominate streaming and dominate tours and
Right.
dominate sales as he has independently,
Hmm.
why would you ever sign to a label again? Why would you sign these long, lucrative deals? Like, yeah, old boy coming out of the trenches is going to sign that deal. But now he has the blueprint. I only need y'all for 10 years. And
Yeah.
y'all got to realize they catch these artists young. So if you catch an artist at 22 and at 32, he's like, I want to go independent.
Hmm.
And from 32 to 52, he's still grading. And that's 15 years of music of him independent built off the back of your help in marketing and strategy.
Right.
You the label as we know it dies.
Exactly.
So I think the only way Drake is happy and UNG is gets what they want, which is keeping Drake and Taylor Swift on that roster, you got to give him at least $1 billion. And I
Yeah.
don't know if he gets it. I don't know
Yeah.
if he gets it, and I don't know if we know if he ever gets it. But that's what you got to do. That's the
Right.
only thing that's going to keep him happy because that's what he feels like he's worth. And that's
Yeah.
what he is worth. That's what the payments you have given me, the market that I have shown, the energy that happens, the world. Drake had the world in the palm of his hands on May 14th, gang.
Yeah.
Like that type of influence and impact is worth two, three, four, $5 billion advance because you're gonna recoup it off one album.
Yeah. That's a fact. I think that the label situation is very interesting because nothing with Drake that is leaked is ever by accident. Nothing with Drake
Ever.
that you ever hear that's important is ever by accident. Like niggas might leak, like, yo, Drake's at a yacht party. I don't mean shit like that. I mean when Kirko hits Hip Hop Spot at Daily, all the nerd hip hop spots say, well, we think he's out of his deal, and then nobody says anything. If Drake was out of that UMG deal, we would know. Trust me. The fact that he just went 3 albums, 2 tours, a party album for all the dogs, and an album before that, and he's still in that deal, it does raise eyebrows with what is his current contract situation. Now, if he just owes them one more tour and he just got to get off this tour and that money goes back to them and then it's time to negotiate, that's masterclass chess. He'll probably get a crazy amount of number. But
Mm-hmm.
the like everything you just said is such a perfect idea, not even idea, like example, because like not only like that's what Drake does, we invested in Drake doing that. We closed
Yes.
40,000 A&R offices. We fired them. We fired them. We consolidated all y'all little labels into one big label because the salary cap going to Drake. Y'all
Yep.
niggas not gonna get paid. He gonna get paid.
Yep.
So while these artists and Wale can't find a marketing budget, everything's going to Drake. So they're investing in getting that return. Moving forward with his contract negotiation, though, but it's kind of weird. Like it's hard to describe. Like I don't feel I if Drake is stuck in this deal, well, I feel bad, kind of because like this is like the artist rights thing that everyone talks
Yeah.
about. Like you mentioned, like was fortunate to be found and signed by Lil Wayne and recruited by Jay-Z. Absolutely, like changed his life forever. He's gonna end up $1 billion dude. But he was still young when he's signing these papers. He doesn't know in 20 years this paper I'm signing is gonna be worth $460 million to cash money. Like he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
know what is next. So music wise for him, I think he's gonna get off that tour and if a rollout starts immediately, he's out of that deal. But from what I can see now, contract wise, I am still doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. He is not in a situation. This is the thing because when they put it on Twitter, like this is what we are hearing or whatever they said, like they were kind of vague with it. I said, did somebody say that? Or is like that's what niggas are hearing? And someone replied to me like, yeah, he was it's renegotiating time and da da da. And I was like, all right, that's cool, but why is he still renegotiating if he's already at UMG? Is my question. What are we renegotiating? Like, if your next 5 albums have to be at UMG, you're not really renegotiating. You're just asking for a raise. And asking for a raise and renegotiating to these billion-dollar white people dudes, way, way different. So if Drake is in between deals, that billions for sure is on the table. Like if Drake can pick up the phone and say, yo, Sony, these next 4 albums are on your label, that is a billion-dollar deal. But if Drake is in a situation where like he thought every time, every 6 years he called Lucy and he was gonna get a little pay bump, and now he kind of not getting that, I don't think it works out for him.
Yeah. And that's the key point is
Yeah,
like, where is he in his deal? Did these 3 albums get him out of that deal and fulfill his album? So now he is at the point where you can negotiate. Because let me explain something to y'all. Because people's like, he dropped 3 albums and fulfilled his obligation to UMG.
yeah,
Sure. But this ain't basketball, gang. This ain't football. Y'all
yeah,
know this ain't basketball. This is the NFL.
yeah.
UMG is the NFL. Drake is a restricted free agent. You know what
Oh
that
yeah,
means, y'all? That
yeah,
means anytime somebody offers him a deal or any deal that he gets, we can match. We have
yeah,
first rights to him. And what I am saying is somewhere in that language, it's something that says something along the lines of, even after you fulfill these albums, we have rights to you. We own this. You still have to sit here for X amount of times before you can, X amount of years before you can leave.
yeah.
There is some written stipulation to where it's not
Non-compete.
just non-compete. It's something in there where it says,
Yeah,
even after this album, we still got some ties to you. Because of Frank Ocean, because of
yeah,
Taylor Swift, because of the people that came before him and
mhm,
tried these sneaky things, they're not letting you do this. Taylor Swift did that album re-record shit, and when she dropped that last one, it was written in every contract on every record label. You can never do that again.
yeah,
Once people exploit the system, they go back and fix the rules. The only people
yeah,
allowed to exploit the system are the people that created it. And that's in every facet of walk of life, whether that's government, music, basketball, whatever that is. So I
yeah,
I hope Drake gets what he deserves. I believe artists deserve what they deserve. They create, they do. Drake, there's not another Drake. Drake deserves to be paid more than everybody else because no one can do what he does. No one can replenish the market if he leaves. If Drake never
right,
drops music again, we're going to feel that. So he
yeah,
deserves to be paid and compensated in that way. But the deal he signed and what he is in, I just don't know. Ish last episode said lifetime deal. And that sounds harsh and that sounds scary. And I don't think at the top of the contract it said Drake's lifetime deal with UMG. But I think the
right.
language in that contract says Drake is in a lifetime deal with UMG. And that's what
Yeah,
it
like
is.
I think it says, yo, listen, we got 10 years and a 2 year option to pick up. And in that 2 year option, that's when we'll renegotiate. And I think that negotiation is going a little different than Drake thought it would. I think that's what it
Completely
is.
agree.
But yeah, that's the thing. All of this is like we're waiting on the next shoe to drop, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's in closing for me. You got anything else?
Oh no, that's it for me.
All right, man. What a great hour, bro. What a great hour. I appreciate y'all for listening. I'm about to head to fucking Jonesboro.
Yeah, good luck to
It's
it.
Friday at 1:15, and I'm finna
Yeah,
drive through Atlanta traffic to Jonesboro, Georgia. So
yeah,
everybody pray for me as hard as you can.
yeah.
I appreciate y'all listening, bro. I If you watching this on Saturday, I might just be getting back home. But
Yeah, not for real.
but appreciate y'all for watching. That is Ish. I'm Rock. I'm Rock. That's Ish. This is episode 164 of the show about nothing. Please like, please subscribe, and please comment, and please screenshot this, post it on your story, tag us, and show us that you're listening. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it, bro. Until next time, y'all be safe, and we'll see you